William Stetler was your age, what do you think he wanted to be when he grew up?
A pastor.
Anybody else?
Teacher. A policeman. A farm. Race car driver. Singer. Somebody that helped others. He probably wanted to be a teacher. No, he's being teacher. He is a teacher right now.
Jesus loves children, and so does Miss Sherilyn. How does she show you she loves you during junior church?
She's always had a really positive attitude and is really nice to each other. She just smiles. She's very caring. And she shows a lot of respect for the kids.
I think mostly the same thing. She's very kind, very good with kids. I think that's a natural ability. I think she's very friendly.
Likes to be fun and active.
Helpful.
She hugs me.
Jesus loves young people, and so does Andy and Sherilyn. How did they show you that they love you during youth services, trips to Pennsylvania, and your youth outings that you do together?
Andy and Sherilyn always make sure to plan really fun outings. Like they take extra time to make sure we're having fun. And when we're on long trips, they don't get really upset when we keep them awake or we're acting crazy and just being young people, and they don't seem to mind. Or they don't act like they mind. They might mind, but they don't act like it.
They'll say, I love you, I'm praying for you, and they'll just do just acts of kindness and stuff to you.
They always are there for you. They always make sure that you're having a good time, make sure that you're doing okay. And sometimes on a daily basis or whatever, they'll text you and make sure you're okay. And they just make sure you are doing right for Jesus.
They're always very helpful, and they always ask if you need anything and ask if you're okay and check up on you.
Well, I think they show that they love us, first of all, by teaching youth service and by taking us on trips. That takes a lot, and you can really tell they care about us, and they do fun things along the way.
They pour their lives into us, and they care about us in our walk with God, and they want us to make it to heaven, and they're always giving. And just like Charlie said, you know, they'll either text you like saying, I'm praying for you, or like ask you like, how are you doing? And that's just always meant so much.
Well, for one, they put up with all of us kids on trips, and everywhere we go, we're always so crazy, and they always just laugh along with us. And they're always there if we need someone to talk to, and that's something that's big to me.
They always spread happiness, and they just always say, I'm praying for you and I love you, and they just make you feel good and do everything they can to help you and get you where you need to be.
They always try and work with you, like to try and get a right time so they can get as many people there as they can, and they're always like just trying to connect with you.
They've really shown an impact in that area, and youth service. Andy has really expressed himself in so many ways, so many life lessons that I've really taken to heart. On the way to Pennsylvania, they have been an absolute exceptional example of patience, really, and done an amazing job, and I really thank them for that.
Always like that they always took interest in you. It wasn't just how are you, they want to know what you're doing day to day and like what your work schedule is and what they likes and your points of interest.
Andy and Sherilyn, they've always made you feel like you were a special part of the youth group. They never left anyone out. I've never seen them leave anyone out. And then they've just let me know that they love me and that they're there for me, which is, I'll never be able to put a price on that or anything. And then even Andy would send me texts and encourage me spiritually or ask how I was doing, and then that just really made a big impact on my life with Christ.
If Brother Andy were to fight a giant, what do you think he would use?
He would use an AR-15, or he would probably pray. He'd hide, wait for the giant to come to him, and I just picture him running away.
Good.
Pray. Help from God. Bible verses. Courage. It's right from God.
Probably easygoing or fair.
Hide or pray. You would pray very hard and use a gun. Well, imagine you get a big rock and roll it off. Get a lot of army men. A slingshot. Stand a stone and put it on a rope and then swing it at him. A sword. A sword. A sword.
I think either he would start throwing Bibles at the giant, or he would use his legs and run for his life.
What do you think would happen if Sister Stetler, like Jonah, got swallowed by a great big whale? What do you think she'd do?
When she first got out of the belly, I think she'd say yuck. Right?
I think she'd faint.
Get out from God.
I think she would immediately probably either do what Brian or Daniel said, or she would get down on her knees and pray for God to not get
Pray. Pray.
I think that she'd fair.
I think she'd freak out and then she'd get her calm down and start praying. Pray. Ask God for help and show her way out. I think she would be praying as soon as she got swallowed. Read the Bible. Get a rope and put it in the mouth to pull her out. Scream. Try and get out. I know she'd just go straight to God and ask for his help.
Does Brother Andy remind you of any Bible character in the Bible?
Andy probably reminds me of Elisha most of all.
Sherilyn kind of reminds me of Jesus' mother just because she's like a mother to everybody. She just loves everybody and just wants to take care of everybody.
Probably Andy would be Paul. Andy always liked teaching everybody, and he's always really good at that, what Paul did.
He reminds me of Zacchaeus because he's so short.
Name one way that you think Brother and Sister Stetler are like Jesus.
I think Brother and Sister Stetler are like Jesus because they're very caring about their church family.
They enjoy talking to people and are really nice to people. They like get the word about God and like witness to other people. Good.
Nothing.
Good. Sweet. Helpful. Loving. Tender-hearted. Very humble. They're kind. They're kind. They show kindness. Loving.
I guess a big part of it would be their character, you know. No one's flawless, but I would have to say that one of the biggest influences from Jesus in my life would be Brother and Sister Stetler, and how they have treated me, and how they have spoke to me, and how they have encouraged me spiritually.
The way I always see Jesus and Brother and Sister Stetler is the way that they just go on and always help people no matter what their day is like. They're always trying to help more people every day, and the way that they'll always make sure they ask about you no matter how busy they are. They always say, how are you doing? Are you doing okay? Do you need anything? And they always want to make sure they're always there for you, and I feel like that's kind of how Jesus is.
The way I see Jesus in them is in their everyday life and their everyday walk. In the stressful situations, they still shine their light for Jesus.
Love your neighbors as yourself, and that's what they do. They love everybody. For me, they were mentors to me, and I think Christ was a mentor, and they've been great friends of mine and family to me.
I think they're very helpful, and when I knocked my teeth out when I was little, they would always come over and bring me stuff like treats and ice cream.
They're always kind to everybody, and they're humble, and it's that they have a servant's heart.
The way I see Jesus in their lives is the way that they walk on a daily basis and how they serve others. And when we first came here, like, it made a really big impact in my life. And I wanted to model my life after Mrs. Stetler. I wanted to be more like her.
I think they just love on everybody all the time, and they really make you feel like you're somebody.
I think they're very humble and they love to spread joy and happiness to everybody without expecting anything. They're always trying to help everybody and do whatever they can to help someone.
I would say the first thing would be probably a servant's heart. They will take a lot of their own personal time to go help somebody and not expecting anything in return.
So how has Brother Stetler and Sister Stetler changed over the years?
They've got more gray hair.
That's what I was about to say.
More wrinkles.
Well, whenever we would lose teeth, I know he would always give us $1, so that's changed.
He's a little slower at basketball.
Whenever you hurt yourself or broke a bone or did something like a kid would do, they always came over and brought you gifts or brought you ice cream or a coloring book, and we're always just really caring and just always thinking of you and calling you and just checking up on you.